start off here. Morning, everyone. We wanted to thank the governor and his detail for being here today. We've got some incredibly exciting news to report here at GENERAC. We've been experiencing some phenomenal growth as a company over the last, really the better part of the last decade, but that growth has recently accelerated pretty dramatically. And we've made an announcement here that we're going to be hiring over 400 new people here at the company over really the next 12 months. A lot of those jobs are going to be created in the next 90 days. And we're pretty excited that they're going to be here in Whitewater. A lot of those jobs also in our Eagle facility, our corporate headquarters in Waukesha, and we also have a company that we purchased up in Berlin, Wisconsin, which is just west of the valley, up outside of Oshkosh. And they're also going to be hiring about 50 to 60 new people. So they manufacture construction equipment. For those of you who don't know about GENERAC, we are a generator manufacturer, and obviously the increase in demand for our products right now is pretty tremendous with the outages that have taken place out east, the outages in the Midwest here, and we're just seeing some tremendous growth. So we're pleased to be having these jobs here in Wisconsin. We've made a career, so to speak, of making sure we add new jobs in this state. We're very committed to manufacturing here in the U.S. In fact, we're recently been onshoring some jobs from China, so the combination of that onshoring plus the growth that we've had is really leading to this really exciting news. So with that, I won't belabor you anymore with my comments, and I'll turn this over to Governor Scott Walker. Governor.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, and Aaron, thanks not just for the introduction, but thanks for your commitment to Wisconsin, to you, to Don, to all the team, all the employees here. Many have been a part of the growth in the past and be a part of the growth here, and as Aaron mentioned, at several other sites. I've been at Whitewater before, but to see growth here, to see growth at Eagle, to see Magnum, the acquisition in Berlin, and the additional jobs coming there as well. This is exactly what we're talking about when we talk about having Wisconsin open for business. And it's not just about something in government. You know, government can play a role, and I'm pleased to be joined by two members of the state legislature, Representative Noss, Representative Wynn, who are both with us here today. But we all know that government doesn't create jobs, people do. And the people at GENERAC have made a commitment, and we're just pleased to highlight that, a commitment to grow, not just to add jobs, but to add quality. When you think about the product that is made here and think about the commitment to quality that makes you the best in the world, that's really one of the things we wanted to highlight. And so today I'm pleased to be here as a part of that announcement, to also tour around, talk to employees, as well as seeing firsthand what's going on and how you're going to be filling even more spots, like you said, in the coming days. The nice thing is not only here, but I think Wednesday there's another jobs fair over in Waukesha. So it's one of those things where the biggest key, the biggest challenge right now is finding enough people with the skills who match the needs for the positions that are open. And so really the message to get out is that there are jobs here. There are jobs at GENERAC. If you've got the skill set, if you've got the desire, you've got the determination to join an exceptional workforce, there are job openings and we need people to fill them. The other thing is I want to particularly highlight GENERAC, not only for this announcement today, but in the past we've seen when I visited at the Waukesha site, the commitment to making sure that there are not only people with the skill set, but in many cases taking folks coming out of high school, coming out of challenges, and making sure that they have the skill sets on top of all the other great individuals who are part of the workforce. That is what makes our state great. And it's the commitment of GENERAC to say, you know, we could be anywhere in the world. We could put our corporate headquarters anywhere in the world. But the commitment is to be right here in Wisconsin. That's one of our strengths and one of the things that has made us a great state for more than 163 years. It's what's going to make us an even greater state in the future. I said as I traveled, both now as governor for the last 10, 11 months, but even before that as a candidate for governor, what I saw in this state was employers that many times were 1 or 2 or 3 generations deep of family-owned businesses, and for those that weren't, they treated their employees like families. And I think that's what you see at GENERAC. You see a company that treats their employees like family and is vested here and has roots here, and even though given all those other opportunities, wants to grow and expand here. I see another part of our strength in the state are employers who more often than not have tremendous workers, have great employees, a skilled workforce. They've got the assets to make some of the best products in the world. And when you talk about bringing things back from overseas, we've seen other companies like that around the state who said with the quality of our skilled workforce and with investments in capital and automation, we can compete against China and Mexico and India and anywhere else. We've just got to have that right mix out there. And so a big thank you, not just to GENERAC's management, but a big thank you to all the employees here and at the other sites across the state, because for us to be competitive, we've got to have great workers in the state and a great Midwestern work ethic. The kind of folks who showed up early on a Monday and work all the way hard through the end of the day on Friday, and that gives us a competitive advantage globally. I said, this is a great state. We've got great employers. We've got a great workforce. We've got tremendous natural resources. We're the only state in the union surrounded by 2 Great Lakes and the greatest river in the U.S. We're filled with 15,000 inland lakes, as I like to tell my friends in Minnesota who will be seeing next Monday. That's 5,000 more than the land of 10,000 lakes, and all of ours have fish in them. But we've got all the right things you need to have a great workforce, a great economy, a great standard of living. What has challenged us many times in the past has not been our people or our places. What's challenged us all too often has been our government and getting our government out of the way. And thankfully, you have some allies in Madison now who want to help do just that so that the GENERACs of the world can put more people to work. So we're absolutely thrilled to be here today. Like I said, I'm going to be making the tour. We wanted to draw attention to the jobs that are not only being created now, but the openings that are out there to fill those jobs, to let people know about that, to highlight the good work that's doing here. And with that, I'm going to say hi to the employees who are here, and then I'll come back and, I guess, for a minute or two before I go on the tour, and take some questions from the media as well. Thanks very much. Good area to be in. I grew up in Delaware, just down the way. It's like we came around on 12 by the high school football school. It reminded me of playing football. The school's a little different.
Some improvement.
Yeah.
Investments in education.
Exactly. So that's interesting. Just reminding me about the field of that. Beautiful area. Sure. I'll be guys. Media can ask us a few questions before we go out on the tour. Sorry it's a little loud, but shout it out if you've got a question. Sure, go ahead, Ryan. Sure, I'll comment on anything. Yeah. From our standpoint, as I've said all along, my focus from a campaign standpoint is really focused on my pledge to create 250,000 jobs in the private sector, to help employers like GENERAC and others do that. So no matter whether it was the one the other day or the one that'll be on the 15th, we presume that's the serious one on the 15th. We're operating under that premise. But either way, it's not going to take our focus off the larger issue, which is what am I doing as your governor to help the people of the state create 250,000 jobs. We've got a plan. We've got a positive outlook to put more people to work in this state. And I think announcements like GENERAC's here today will help us do just that, regardless of whatever else may be happening in politics. Yeah, the name was the first we'd heard about that. Neither I nor my campaign nor anybody to do with the Republican Party had any interaction with that individual. So I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know what benefit that gets out of anything for us. It's pretty much neutral. We assume the real deal will be on the 15th, the way that people have announced in the past. So for us, it didn't change our focus. Our focus is on helping employers like GENERAC create more jobs. So whether it's the 15th, the 6th, or any day in between that, it really doesn't matter to us what the date is. We're not going to lose sight of having a positive plan to work together to bring people back to work here in the state of Wisconsin. No, Ohio and Wisconsin are very different states, very different outcomes. In the end, the biggest difference between what they're voting on tomorrow and anything that could happen here in Wisconsin is they haven't had the benefit of the law. Their law didn't go into effect when they had a referendum. In Wisconsin, we've now had several months to see the results, the hundreds of millions of dollars that schools and local governments have saved. That's going to save all of us as property taxpayers. We get our bill in December. That's going to be good news for us. We've seen positive results. They didn't get to see that in Ohio, so really two very different worlds. Again, I don't know the particulars in Ohio. I just know it's a very different state. It's about twice the size of Wisconsin, different demographics, but most importantly, they haven't had the law go into effect in that state, so they haven't seen any positive results. Our state now has had several months of those, and we can see it with a better business climate. We can see it with hundreds of millions of dollars of savings for local governments and schools, and we'll see it in December with lower property taxes. Sure. Sure, I'll let Aaron talk.
Yeah, the jobs that we're creating are actually full-time jobs. 400. It'll actually be more than 400 when we're done. There's actually, these are family-supporting jobs in terms of the wage base that we're paying off of. They're not minimum wage jobs, so all of them are really good jobs for the communities that we operate in.
Actually, one good follow-up on that, because I was talking with GENERAC included a number of manufacturers the other day, and one of the other big messages with today is not just the good news of the jobs, but as a message. I've got a junior and a senior in high school. Both of my kids go to public schools in Wisconsin. It's a great message to young kids looking up to where they want to go in the future, what they want to do. And it's a good reminder that there are great jobs in manufacturing. There are family-supporting jobs in manufacturing. There are great places to work in manufacturing. For all the hype in the last decade or so about jobs going overseas or closing down, GENERAC is a great example of many other manufacturers in the state who are not only stable, they're actually adding jobs. It's a great environment to work in. It's a great place to work for. I was talking with one of the employees on the way in who's worked here for 8 years, enjoys seeing the growth and expansion. There's a lot of companies like that in Wisconsin. And for young people trying to figure out what their next step is after high school, we want as many kids that want to go into four-year colleges or universities. That's great, but there are also technical school opportunities, and many of the jobs that are available today are coming in the expanded world of manufacturing. And my hope is that with announcements like this, it's not only good news for the economy, it sends a message to people that there are great opportunities in manufacturing. That's our roots, and we do it well. We do it better than anybody else in the world here in Wisconsin. And my hope is that more people, particularly young people, will look to a great career in manufacturing. Good. Anybody else? If not, thanks. We're off on our tour.
Appreciate it.